Hi, this is Katie England. I'm coming back at you during our COVID-19 sit-in, wherever you're sitting. This is for Some Theater Companies Gone Viral. It's our attempt to entertain you while we are socially distancing ourselves. I have another story for you. This is one that I wrote back in August of 2015, and it's called In Season, and it's one of my favorites. In season. Platters of cheese, crackers, chopped veggies, and dip cluttered all the available surface space. Summer maneuvered a crock of salsa onto the crowded coffee table, keeping an eye on the basket of corn chips sliding precariously close to the edge. The timer in the kitchen began beeping at the same time the doorbell rang. "It's open!" she called as she flounced into the kitchen. She could hear her door opening. She grabbed her thick oven mitts and slid one on each hand. She opened the oven and inhaled the heat and sense of cooking pie. The filling had pooled up over parts of the crust and bubbles popped thickly, releasing the scent of hot peaches and cinnamon. "Holy crap, Summer! There's only 4 of us coming. You made enough for the Russian army," said the voice in the living room. Still holding the pie, Summer poked her head and smiled at Spring, who was hanging his coat on the rack next to the door. "I get excited when it's my turn," she said. He looked at her pie and shook his head with a smile. "Will you put it down so I can give you a proper hug? And then turn off the damn oven. You're the only one who likes it this hot," he said. Summer slid the pie onto a cooling rack near a window and pushed the button on the oven. When she re-entered the living room, she flipped the switch for the ceiling fan, and then Spring caught her up in a hug, and he spun her around, and she laughed. "Well, you look wonderful, woman," he said, setting her down and patting her cheek. "Aw, thanks," she said, her cheeks turning pink. And despite the fan, the temperature in the room rose at least 5 degrees. "Stop it, or I stop complimenting you," he said, but he smiled. "I would have thought that I'd have been last. Where's Winter and Autumn?" "Beer run." "Sorry, bud. You're always late," she said. "But hey, try the goat cheese spread. I got it at that farmer's market you told me about." The door burst open, and Winter, her arms laden with paper bags that clinked as she moved. A sharp breeze followed her into the house. "Spring finally made it," she cried over her shoulder. "Ha! I knew he'd show up when we went for the beer. It's the only way to get him to show up," said a deep voice from behind Winter. They put the bags down and hugs were doled out and backs were slapped. Winter gave Spring a gentle kiss on the cheek, and she smiled as warmly as she was able. "Summer, that place is amazing. If I lived here, I'd be broke. Did you know that they have the Balvenie 21? Autumn asked, holding up a bottle. Summer had grabbed a platter with some tumblers, ice cubes, and spritz. "You like it neat," she said, and Autumn nodded and did a small little jig, which was impressive for a man of his size. "I brought you some dates from when I visited Spain, to die for." Everyone picked up a small plate and filled them with snacks. Cups were filled with beers and wines and scotch, and finally each one plopped into an oversized chair. Stories were punctuated by explosions of laughter. At one point, Spring was clutching his stomach and trying to recover from the story Autumn had told about the cows on a farm that had somehow managed to start one of the combines and started a stampede. Summer rested her head on Winter's shoulder while Spring and Autumn went to get a deck of cards. "It's been forever," said Winter, running her fingers through Summer's hair. And her hair would shimmer gold or green or wildflowers. "We all get so busy," said Summer, enjoying the sensation of cool fingers playing with her hair. Plates were filled and empty and filled again. Eventually the pie was sliced and handed out. Autumn took the first bite and rolled up his eyes and sighed. "Summer, dear, wars will be fought over your peach pie," he said, and Summer giggled. They played cards, and everyone got quite drunk. The hour grew late and then early again, and Summer could feel when it was time to end it, and she had to dab her eyes on her apron. "I know, honey. I hate it when it's time to go," said Spring, and even his eyes seemed overbright. She hugged him too hard, but he didn't mind, patting her back and pretending not to hear her little hiccuping sobs. He put on his cloudy coat, clasped Autumn's arm, gave Winter a quick kiss, and slipped out. Autumn took Summer's hand and kissed it. I love it when it's your turn, my dear. His coat seemed to catch on fire as he donned it, and he waved over his shoulder as he left. It will be my turn next, said Winter. Summer hugged her. I can't wait. The end. If you like that, there'll be more to come. Thanks. Have a great day.